What's up guys, Matt
and Blake
from the Full Boots team, and today we're going to be looking at the Premier League PFA Team of the Year, which has just been announced, and this is voted by the Premier League footballers, so it really is a massive accolade because those Premier League footballers, they are voting for each other, so it really is illustrious. So let's get straight into the goalkeeper, who is...
So at goalkeeper is David De Gea for his fourth time in the PFA Team of the Year, wearing the X16.1 letters. How many clean sheets has he had?
So David De Gea has had 12 clean sheets this season, and it's also the third time in a row that he has got the PFA Goalkeeper of the Year, 4 in total. But there are a couple of standout goalkeepers of this season who might not get those same big headlines because they're not as well known as De Gea, but like who?
Someone like Jordan Pickford for Sunderland, a lot of saves. Tom Heaton for Burnley, and who else? Hugo Lloris.
Hugo Lloris. Now, one thing about Jordan Pickford, great goalkeeper, but he actually wears the Vapor 11 in that motion blur colourway. So for a keeper's choice, very flashy in that white and pink colourway. But if he likes it, fair play to him. But that is the best keeper of this year. So let's move on to the defenders.
So the right back we see in the 2016-17 PFA Team of the Year is Kyle Walker of Spurs. He wears the Superfly, perfect boot choice for a wing back.
Exactly. Now he's a very attack-minded fullback, so that is why the Superfly 5 is perfectly suited to him, darting up and down that wing. He's actually got 5 assists this season, so a pretty good season for Kyle Walker. Me myself, I actually thought that Victor Moses had a brilliant season. He was definitely in with the shout of getting that right back slot, who wears the Hypernym 3DF, which again is an attack-minded boot, and that's what we see in the Premier League these days, attack-minded fullbacks. But that is Kyle Walker at right back, so let's move on to the next player. So our first centre half to feature is Gary Cahill, wearing the Magista Obra 2. Now we just saw Kyle Walker for Tottenham, and they are head to head right now, Tottenham and Chelsea. Obviously Gary Cahill gets the nod for the first one. Obra 2, is it a good boot for a defender?
Well, Gary Cahill actually was originally wearing Adidas football boots at the start of the season, but he had switched to the Magista Obra 2. I think this is probably the best choice for a centre half. Maybe the Tempo Legend 6, but Magista Obra, really nice and padded, both sides of the boot, dimpled upper, really high quality boot choice for a centre half.
So our next centre half has to be Gary Cahill's teammate, David Luiz, and again, he actually wears the same boot as Gary Cahill, the Magista Obra 2, so it is a serious boot, and these guys, especially David Luiz, since coming back to the Premier League, has made a massive impact. How many clean sheets have Chelsea made on those two players this season?
So Chelsea have had 12 clean sheets this season. Cahill and Luiz together, no Terry, pretty strong partnership with Chelsea there. They pretty much will win the Premier League. I won't say they will. They may. Spurs might just get it just in time. But overall, Magista Obra 2, great choice for a centre half.
Now, one centre half that didn't make the PFA Team of the Year, which I think personally should have, is Alderweireld for Tottenham. Great player, great distribution. I think he's had a brilliant season overall, and he wears the Magista Opus 2, so the actual low cut version of this. But let's move on to our left back. So as we can see, it's another Tottenham player. So Chelsea and Tottenham are going head to head in the back line, just like they are in the Premier League, and that is Danny Rose in again the Magista Obra 2. Very popular boot in the Premier League. But how many goals and assists did Danny Rose get this season?
So 2 goals, 2 assists for Danny Rose this season. Decent numbers for a wing back. Maybe someone like Marcus Alonso could have made it because Chelsea with that 3-4-3 formation has been really well. He wears the Hypernym Phantom boots. Yeah, so Magista Obra again, 3 defenders in the PFA Team of the Year wearing the Obra. Solid choice for defenders.
So we get into our first midfielder, and it has to be N'Golo Kante, who's pretty much the modern day Claude Makélélé. Now, not only has he made 110 tackles this season, but it's also the second time in a row that he has made the PFA Team of the Year. So he's done it back to back. Talk us through what boots he's actually wearing.
So it's a sort of odd boot choice for a defensive midfielder. He wears the Pure Chaos. Very, very wide fitting, and it has a very, very thin barefoot feel when you're touching the ball. But yeah, an odd boot choice for Kante. Maybe he just likes the boot for the barefoot feel. Who knows?
So we've just had a holding midfielder of N'Golo Kante, number 10, Dele Alli in the A17 Plus Pure Control. So we've just seen the Pure Chaos, now it's the Pure Control. This guy has had a great season.
So Dele Alli had to make this Team of the Year. He's got 16 goals and 5 assists. Decent numbers for a midfielder, more than decent.
Yeah, exactly. Now he's very similar to a player like Frank Lampard. We saw him playing that centre mid, but that box to box, making those late runs, third man runs, and that's exactly how Dele Alli plays as well. A sublime footballer, and a little bit similar to Kante. He again has got back-to-back PFA Team of the Year inclusions. So that's our centre mid, Kante and Dele Alli. So let's move on to the wingers. So we get into our first winger, and it has to be the electric player of Sadio Mane, who is so quick, wears the Vapor 11, perfectly suited to his style of play. Why has he had such a good season?
So 13 goals and 5 assists for Sadio Mane, wearing mostly the Spark Brilliance Vapors. Perfect boot choice for a winger / attacking midfielder.
So obviously he's just been injured, so Liverpool are actually without Sadio Mane at the moment, which is a massive shame for the club, especially at the business end of the season, and they're chasing Champions League football. Yes. And they are really missing him, his pace and his goals, and also his press. But that is our first winger, so let's move on to our second one. So there's no need to put the Vapor 11 down, because next up we have Eden Hazard, who has refound his sublime form that we saw from a couple of seasons ago. He's back to his best. What's he been doing this season?
So very similar numbers to Sadio Mane, 14 goals and 5 assists, so one more goal added to his tally. But yeah, Vapor 11, pretty much the same as Sadio Mane, sort of a winger / attacking midfielder, perfect boot choice for him. Unlike Sadio Mane, he's actually been wearing all the colourways. He's currently wearing the Motion Blur, really nice colourway on the Vapor.
Now Hazard has really proved his doubters wrong from last season. There's no doubt that he did have a poor season last time around under Jose Mourinho. Wasn't performing that well, but since Conte has come back in, he has transformed Hazard. Now there's a lot of transfer talk about him going to maybe Real Madrid, which would be a massive move, and there's no doubt he'll probably stay in the Vapors and become one of their biggest headline players. So the first centre forward that was included in the PFA Team of the Year is Harry Kane, who epitomises the Hibernian Phantom 3, all about scoring goals. How many did he score this season?
So at the moment he's got 20 goals and 5 assists. So 20 goals in the Hibernian, solid numbers for Harry Kane. He's got over 20 numbers for 2 or 3 seasons now.
Yeah,
definitely in the Team of the Year. Maybe someone like Alexis Sanchez would have made the team, maybe? I don't know. Yeah,
there's no doubt that Sanchez could have made the team. Again, he's been good. Arsenal have been struggling. But let's talk about Harry Kane again. 3 times on the spin, included in the PFA Team of the Year. He's been smashing it. There's no doubt that he's England's number 9. He's been in the Hibernian boots for a couple of seasons now. He's loving them. He's scoring his goals. Simple as that. So let's move on to our final player in the list. So wrapping it all up is this guy, Romelu Lukaku, who has been an absolute beast this season. He's probably going to win the player of this season as well, because he's been that good. But how many goals, how many assists?
So 24 goals and 6 assists for Romelu Lukaku this season. He's currently wearing the turbocharged X16.1 leathers, but he has been wearing a few different boots this season. We've also done just a quick boot history on Lukaku. So we're wearing the Vapors as well as his main boot, as well as the Hibernian. So yeah, Lukaku's smashing it.
Exactly right, Lukaku did smash it this season, and that is the PFA Team of the Year 1 to 11. Now that is what the players voted for in the Premier League, so we want you guys as well to leave your own Team of the Years in the comment section below. Goalkeeper to centre forward, let us know, and we'll be picking our favourite one out there and pinning it in the comment section below. But that pretty much wraps up the video. Guys, thanks for watching as always.
We'll see you next time.